Welcome to the Empire of Kindness, where stories remind us of the power and purpose of simple human kindness. I'm your host, Matthew McGinnis, and today I want to tell you a real story about a man who had almost nothing except honesty. It's a story of subverted expectations and will challenge some of the stereotypes you may believe about the unhoused and demonstrate how kindness can come back to you. It happened in Boston back in 2013. A man named Glenn James, who was homeless at the time, was sitting near a shopping center when he noticed something unusual: a black backpack just sitting there, abandoned. Now, many people would have just ignored it, but Glenn was curious. He made his way over to it and cautiously opened it. What he found could have changed his life forever, all by itself. Inside were thousands of dollars in cash. 42,000. That was $2,000 in cash and over 39,000 in traveler's checks, plus a passport. Let that sink in for a second. $42,000. For a man living on the street, that's not just a windfall. That's a complete reboot of his life. Food, shelter, a fresh start perhaps. Maybe even a way off the street for good. Who wouldn't be tempted? But Glenn James didn't keep it. Instead, he flagged down a nearby police officer and handed the bag over, without taking a penny. The money was later returned to its original owner, a Chinese student who had accidentally left it behind. Let's take a moment to consider the sheer integrity it takes to think like this. How often have you been in need and thought of helping yourself first? Is this what we've been taught to believe about people living in the streets? We expect selfishness and laziness because that's what we've been told. How many other images of people in need have we been fed unquestioningly? I ask you to remember this question. When the news hit local media, people were stunned. The Boston Police Department gave Glenn a special citation for his honesty. A few days later, a complete stranger named Ethan Whittington, just a guy in Virginia who heard the story, started a GoFundMe campaign to raise some money for Glenn as a thank you. He set what seemed like a modest goal, $50,000. The GoFundMe took off right away. Donations came in by the dozens. By the end, people from all over the country had chipped in. The fundraiser reached over $160,000. It was enough to get Glenn into permanent housing, take care of some of his medical needs, and give him a real second chance. Glenn James became a quiet symbol of what it means to choose the right thing over the easy one, of how kindness and integrity often show up in unexpected people, of how we should challenge our assumptions about people, and how the world can respond to shared stories of kindness. In interviews before he learned of the fundraiser, Glenn said he didn't regret his decision. He said, "Even if I were desperate for money, I would not have kept a penny of that." If he were desperate for money. A homeless man. What Glenn James reminds us is simple. Kindness doesn't always wear a name tag. It doesn't necessarily come from wealth or comfort or status. Sometimes it's just a quiet man on a bench doing the right thing when no one's watching. That's when it matters the most. Thanks for spending some time with me here at the Empire of Kindness. If this story inspired you, consider sharing it. Or better yet, consider doing one small kind thing today. You never know how it might ripple or who it might affect. Until next time, I'm Matthew McGinnis. Remember, kindness first, kindness always. Let's build an empire of kindness.